So not just for our friends and our family, it will be like for everybody. So you don't need to choose, you know. If you learn to like the people the way they are, not their actions when they're negative, okay? Be careful, make a distinction there. There is actions and there is people, and this is not oneness. There is no bad people, but there is bad actions. So it doesn't mean you have to throw out the person out of your heart because they do negative actions, the same as you would not throw out your son out of your heart because he or she is doing negative actions. But you see that these actions are negative, and you would do whatever you can to stop the person from doing these actions. That is liking somebody, loving somebody, being kind to somebody. The kindness sometimes can come out as quite tough when it's for the benefit and for the sake of the other person. Do you see what I mean? So when we hear about, you know, this is the first thing the kids say in the children workshops. And I say, well, you know, as a Buddhist, you learn to like everybody. And they say, how can I like somebody who is not kind? You know, this is the first question. And it's a very good question. Because for us is, I like the ones who are kind. Well, some of them. Do you like everybody who is kind? No, not even those, you know. Only if they're kind to me. And kind to me in a way that I like, you know. If you're too kind to me, I get nervous. If you want to, you know, make my tea and do this and wash my plate and all this, I get nervous. I don't like it. And I have to pull myself together and say, let them create some murder. Drink that tea that has too much milk now. And I know teachers who can do that, you know. I saw it like with Venerable Rene not so long ago. He doesn't like it. He already had his cup of tea because he came down in the morning very early to chat with me. And then the person who was looking after, him, his attendant. I am always giving the teachers an attendant. To me, who doesn't like attendant. He's so skillful, Rene. So then he came and he saw that he was already down, not in his room, because he brings the tea to his room. And Rene says, don't tell him that I already had a cup of tea. Because he will feel bad. So, you know, it's so kind. I don't have this kind of kindness yet. I'm taking this as an example and hope that when you want to make my cup of tea, not to be too grumpy, if you have already made it. This one I made myself. Yeah, this is why I'm not a teacher, you see, because I don't have these qualities. So I can only talk about them. And I know what I have to develop also. Okay, so in order to be able to benefit further, so the ethical conduct, yeah, not to harm others, and also as a bodhisattva it goes further than that, because we have harmed others. Are you conscious that you have harmed others? Consciously, unconsciously. Just by existing we harm others. Yeah, because we need to survive, we need to put food in our body. And even if it's just all vegan, still it needs to be transported. Still, we don't know exactly which farm it comes from. Maybe also these workers get exploited, especially if it comes from Spain, in Europe, especially when it comes from south of Spain. Even the organic farms, sometimes in Switzerland also, they employ refugees. Yeah, now of course they have a minimum pay, but it's really minimum. Why? Because they're refugees. So that's what I mean. And it's organic. So it doesn't mean organic, ethical, not at all, because with organic these days you can earn a lot of money, because it has become very fashionable. So there again we see samsara. Everywhere there's flaws, yeah. So, so even if you're a vegan, you know, I mean, the earth gets plowed. Animals, insects die, get cut into pieces and all that. So, yeah, whatever we do, so then we whatever we have already done, especially consciously, we purify. Yeah. So that's also part of your spiritual practice. You do purification meditation. So again, I won't go into that, but like we do, if you want, like Shantideva, the Shantideva group, I can't remember the date. But anyway, we'll do a whole weekend of Vajrasattva, for example. Vajrasattva is the classic purification practice. We do the sessions 4 times a day, 4 sessions. Not much teaching, not much talking. Just whatever I've done is negative, I regret, Vajrasattva mantra, determination to be more careful. That is purification. Yeah, so you purify and you abstain, then you create positive energy. How do we create positive energy? How? I said the word just before. You might have smiled, huh?
By ethical behavior?
By?
By ethical behavior?
By ethical behavior? No, ethical behavior is not creating negative energy, but also it's not really creating positive energy. I mean, it creates positive energy when you consciously, there's a mosquito, and you feel the wish to kill it, and very consciously you say no. Then you create the positive energy of not killing. But if you just not kill because nothing is there, then, so if you practice ethical behavior very consciously, you want to take this watch. Now we found out it's not a Rolex, so it's better leave it. It's not worthwhile. But you want to take it, and then you go like this. You say, no, I won't. Yeah, that is ethical behavior. So ethical behavior is quite. On one hand, it's easy because it means you don't have to do anything. You just have to abstain. On the other hand, it's like the consciousness, the mindfulness kind of goes into it in order to create positive energy. That's what I mean. But otherwise, how?
Doing merits.
Who said? How? How do you create merit? I said the word mitzvah, no? Huh?
Compassion, love.
Compassion, love.
Positive actions. Like,
Positive actions,
like guarding the life of others, or the properties, and like this.
Yeah. For example, without any self-concern. Then it creates merit. Or by dedicating the merit that comes from it to your enlightenment, because your enlightenment is for others. Your enlightenment is not for you. You want to attain enlightenment because you want to benefit others. Now the Buddhists, they have, because as you say, saving lives is difficult unless you do animal liberation and you buy some crickets that would be otherwise kind of fed to reptiles. Buddhists do these crazy things. In Switzerland, I go to the fisher shop and I buy the worms who are alive. And so in one morning I can save 300 lives for $100. Very nice. And that's very easy. Then I put them in we have like special earth now there, so I don't need to go to the forest. And I put them there, can make very deep holes. And I made sure, I asked people who know about these things, will they survive? Yes. At least they will not end on a hook like that. So that is called liberating animals. If you want to, liberate the goat, that would be sure that she would be killed. You go and buy it, put it in your garden. So like that. So this you can do, for example. But there's also things that are much easier. You make offerings to the Buddhas. Because the Buddhas, there's different fields of merit. Like different fields. It's the same as with fields. If you're farming or if you have a garden, some fields, some earth is very good. It's very easy to grow things. Some others are very difficult. So the fields, what they say, that are very powerful, are not just the Buddhas, okay? Realized beings. Realized meaning not harming anybody and helping spontaneously whenever they can, whomever, not making choices. This is a realized being. So it doesn't have to be just Buddhists, it can be Christians, Jews, atheists, whatever. So if you help them with their projects, if you support them, or with the Buddhas, you don't even have to see them, you put it, usually then one has an altar at home, and you make offerings, you make pujas, and then anyway, the food is being distributed, it's not being thrown away. Like I know that if you're not a Buddhist, sounds very strange. I know it sounds strange, but once you start to do it, maybe then you see that it works. How it works, I don't know, but there is something. And I can see it also, when we make puja. Puja is offering ritual. And I buy really beautiful, I'm very careful buying very nice flowers, very nice fruits. There sometimes I have to let go if it has to be from the region, because otherwise in Switzerland it's only pears and apples in the winter, which can be very nice also, that's true. But anyway, And then when people come in and see it, they go like, wow, and they're happy. You present them in a very nice way, with a lot of care and all this, so, yeah. But you can also be project. So the powerful field is like realized beings or realized projects, let's say, who are benefit. Yeah. Then another very powerful field is, and yesterday we talked about Michal, I can never say her name, but Warszawski with the prison project. There's a project with people who go to the prisons to meditate. So they're looking, by the way, they're looking for sponsors, big ones, I guess. If you know any big sponsors who would be happy to give their money, because sometimes they exist, or associations. Associations is almost better, because if it's one individual sponsor, very quickly they want to take control and they come and see what you're doing and all this. So if it's an association, if you know one that would be supporting meditation and stuff, please tell who? Yael? Please tell Yael. Yeah, because in Switzerland I'm part of an association. It's not my money, but I have to say yes, we will give it there or not, which is looking after the culture of Tibet. So we get quite a bit of, from Bhutan, from Nepal, from Dharamsala, and it is one rich person where the money comes from, and he says, I don't want it to come from me, so he made the association, and it's also helping his taxes, of course, because his money, that he has too much of it goes, and he has a lot too much, goes into the association. So it's great, I love these meetings. Like we have big sums going, 30,000, 50,000, all we have to say is yes or no, the three others, it's like giving your monopoly money, just giving without losing anything. It's so joyful, these meetings, I really love it. I would love to have the money also to be able to do it, I know, but at least I'm part of it, so I can see how much joy it is. And this person who gives the money, he's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so happy also. He's calm, happy, relaxed, and doing big, building the school in Dharamsala and at the Namgyal Monastery, these kind of things. And then sometimes you wonder, when the Dalai Lama is coming, then he and his wife, both of them are really beautiful, they're always sitting in front, and then you know why they're sitting in front, And why did the Karmapa, when he's in Switzerland, he stops in their house to come and have tea? Yeah, so it's nice. If you are rich, it's good if you're rich, if you these kind of things. Another very positive or very powerful field is your parents. Because they have raised you, they have spent a lot of money on you. That's just the material part. They also have spent a lot of emotions on you, a lot of love, a lot of compassion. So they're, for karma, for merit, a very powerful field. And then the next powerful field is the sick and the poor, of course, obvious. Yeah. So when you are not knowing what you should, give as a gift, a birthday gift for your friend who already has everything, I said that yesterday already, consider to maybe choose a more powerful field than your friend who has everything already. Yeah, I'm sure there's more kind of organizations who need money. You don't need to go so far to look for them. Yeah, they're everywhere. People who do good, people who try to do good, but in order to do good, what the first thing there's always missing is money. Intentions, good intentions are plentiful. There are many good intentions, but then the money is missing. So if you have some spare, on one hand, everybody can use money, of course, but also everybody has some spare money, or sometimes even little. So it's not so much, how much you give, it's more what you give and with what kind of attitude. But of course, if you're a millionaire and you give one shekel, then you yourself, that it's kind of strange. That you feel very generous by giving one shekel. Do you see what I mean? So creating virtues goes into ethical behavior in order then to help sentient beings already now, even though we're not a Buddhist yet, like benefiting others. So that's the third part. And again, if you're more interested in that, can't remember the date, but we are also going through the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, like a guide to a Bodhisattva's way of life. We will come to the 5th chapter, and this is about that. Because this text is helping you to practice the 6 perfections. So generosity, you find it in different chapters. You find it in the first one and then in the last one. Ethical conduct you find especially in the 5th one, because it's called mindfulness. In the 4th and in the 5th. It's called mindfulness and awareness. The mindfulness of knowing your mind and being careful, and the mindfulness of, when there's a positive mind there, then do something good with it or whatever. So it's good explanation how to practice these 3 things: to purify, to abstain from negative actions, to create merit, and then how to benefit others. So there is 11 ways of benefiting others, and I can tell you what they are. They're from the scriptures, so from the texts. So sometimes, you go like, what? Sometimes also they look a bit the same, like number 3 looks the same as number 5. So if you really are very interested what exactly the difference is, you can ask me. I don't know, but I can ask somebody who knows. Yeah. I can ask, for example, Lodro Rinpoche in Switzerland. I can write to the secretary. He's done all these Geshe studies and all this, and they have it all in their head. Amazing how much things they have in their head. I don't know. Anyway, these 11 ways of helping and benefiting others. Help to accumulate and protect, if necessary, the things we need to survive. For example, here it says helping farmers when they don't have enough, because we need farming things, right? Helping farmers when they don't have enough help, or they can't pay the help or whatever, and you have time, you go to help them. Help people with businesses who can't manage, like this. So that would be one way of benefiting others. And support those who help the sick and the poor. So that is also one way. This is number 1. Number 2, helping those who are confused about the Dharma. And that goes also what goes in there, counseling, therapy, like that. Like if you're a therapist and you do it, not just to earn money, you do it because you want to benefit the person, but also because you want to attain enlightenment, then the benefit from being a counselor, a therapist, will actually become the practice of the training of the 6 perfection, and that one is as generosity and as ethical conduct. So you see, Buddhism psychologically is very skillful. Out of one positive action, which is positive anyway, but you kind of stretch it. And not for yourself, but because you want to get rid of your negative emotions and you want to enhance your positive ones. So now if that's, if the motivation behind it is, if I have a lot of positive qualities like this, I become very famous and I become very rich, and then, of course, then that creates mixed karma. But if your motivation genuinely is that I want to attain full awakening, and for that you need to know what that is, then it will be the petrol for your precious human rebirth Cadillac car, which is this body, to move along the path. Because what's the point of having a Cadillac to do? Not even allowed to say the word, is it, these days? So if you don't have power for your electric Tesla, then what's the point of having an electric Tesla if there's no electricity, if you can't charge it up? So the creating these mitzvahs, these virtues, is having the power, having the skills, having the means then to be able to benefit others. So that's why we have to already now starting to benefit others. And as a Buddha, you can benefit others in a much deeper way because you inspire them, for example, to be generous, ethical, and so forth. You can guide them. Third one, helping strangers to the place. In Israel, you find many, many ways because nobody can read your language. Nobody. So I used to lie a lot in the past, so I still have the habit of exaggerating. So of course you can read your language, but people like me cannot read it. So as I said yesterday in the supermarket, if the package is not transparent and I see what's inside, I don't know what it is. But it's nice because then I ask and then I can make connection to the people. And you Israeli guys, I mean, you are the nicest supermarket helpers as customers, because if I have to ask one question and it's not so easy where to find it, it doesn't take long. I have 3-4 people in the supermarket looking for the thing. Because I ask one person, this one asks another one, and they all look and search. And they're very happy when they found it. So.
Then you end up with sour cream.
No, because then I know what it is. The sour cream, I didn't buy it actually. So I think it was already in the fridge. Anyway, yeah, I could end up with sour cream. But actually, and I also told the story, but it's so nice. It was many years ago. I was totally new to Israel. So it was at that time when the post office didn't have numbers yet. So it was always a bit of, it had a queue, but it didn't have numbers. So as I was going to the post office, because at that time also I would write postcards to the friends of my mother's who were old and who really loved postcards. So this is 20 years ago. Now they're all dead, so I don't go to the post office anymore. I don't know what's happening there. But so I went with my stack of postcards. An old lady came out and I held the door for her. That moment somebody slips in. Stands in the queue, I behind her. Me, totally okay, because, it's not a game in Switzerland to jump queues. If somebody jumps it, okay, because not many people do it. Yeah. She starts to become very uncomfortable in front of me. And then she looks, and I said, hi. And she looks again, she said, you can go before me. I said, no, there's no need, I have time. And then she says, but it's your right. I said, well, maybe it's my right, but I don't need it. You seem to be in a hurry because you came in so quickly. It's okay, it's fine. Just go before me. A little bit later, I was in the supermarket trying to find something. Exactly the same person comes and asks, can I help you? So, you are nice guys. Israelis are nice guys, really. And I discover it every year, that if I need help, I find it. It's so easy if you need help here to find it. Like, quick help. Maybe if I need $1 million, maybe also no, I don't know. But, so not heavy help, like, need something, done, okay, goodbye. But it makes very nice connections. And Israeli people, they like to help, in general, yeah. I see it. This is why I like to take public transport, because then I meet normal Israelis. Not only are no practitioners. So, then you can't say, oh, it's only the people who practice Dharma. No. It's also others. And sometimes it's also religious people who help me. So, come on. It's don't throw them all in the same bin. And you're the only good one. Not like that. Okay, helping strangers to the place. When you see somebody lost, now with the Google Maps who can talk in your language, it's difficult to you can't ask, you ask somebody, where's this street? You say, they take out the telephone. Anyway, helping those who are in danger of, here it says spiders, the dark, or somebody who is afraid of the dark, or somebody who's afraid to walk home at night. By the way, as a woman, if you are a man and you take public transport and bus and it's late at night and you walk home as a man, this is for the guys, and there's a woman, try to walk in front of the woman and not behind her. She would feel so much more comfortable. Okay? Try to make this, to be mindful of that. You can help the women not to be afraid at night when it's, a deserted street and all this. you see, all the women not. But this is for the guys, okay? Even if you're a very nice guy and you would save her life, if she would be in danger, make it a rule to walk in front of her and not behind her. Yeah? So that's a way of practicing ethical conduct as a bodhisattva. You get off the bus and you walk in front. You get home quicker. Helping those who are grieving is also one of those 11 ways to help others. Sit with them. Again, you know, which other country or which other religion has this beautiful thing that you can just go and sit 7 days with the family? I don't know any other one. And you make it natural, everybody does it, and it's open the whole day. You can go, come. It's so nice, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So, very easy. You know, you don't have to pick, because me, I don't know, you know, is it welcome that I come now? Are they too much locked in their grief? Can I disturb them in their grief? Shall I go? Shall I not go? Shall I first phone? Me, I have this whole story before I go. Here, there's the sign on the door is open. It makes it so easy to go. So beautiful. The Shiva is so beautiful because it's difficult when somebody dies. Yeah. Okay. Helping those who are in material and spiritual need is number 6. Helping, number 7, encourage and help those who have aspirations. Like, you know, helping out that they have aspirations to help others, or you help those. But then here I put in brackets, but don't rob a bank in order to help them. Okay, like we had yesterday with the Robin Hood principle kind of thing. Encourage the weak and the depressed. Help those on true path. Help those on wrong path. So it's like number 10 and number 9 and 10. And then it's a very interesting one. Use your miraculous powers if you have them to help others. Well, I'm not sure, you know. I mean, the Tibetan, there is Tibetan weather people. There is Indian, Native American weather people who can influence the weather. Maybe not now because it's too late, but I don't know, you know. There was this teaching in Manali by His Holiness, and it was monsoon time, and the dark clouds kept coming, and he just kept looking up, and all of a sudden they disappeared. One year it was really, really dry, and I was so worried because the winter had no rain almost, and already the spring was very hot, and I was worried. I thought, like, you know, it was forest fires, and we didn't have any water and all this, and all the Tibetans were very relaxed, and he really got on my case. The moment there was water in the tap, they would water their plants, you know, their flowers, and I said, come on, you know. Oh, don't worry, we'll have water, and sure enough, the monsoon started 2 months earlier. They must have made pujas or something. So with the rain, I think they can do something. So in that case, stop hail, or, you know, bring rain, or stop rain, or whatever. I know, again, sounds fantastic. I tell you, I've seen too many things with the Tibetan Lamas not to believe anymore that they don't have miraculous powers. I've seen too many things to say, you know. But this means, so for you, you have to discover it yourself. Yeah. Do you know people who can heal with their energy? Yeah, that's what I mean also, you know. I have a friend, her son, his energy is such, if he goes towards a computer, the computer goes crazy. He cannot get money out of a machine. He cannot get he can't even get a train ticket because the people who give you the ticket have computers. When he's too close to it. And he's a beautiful person. So, you know, if we could channel that energy into something, but he does. I mean, I think he does. He started healing people. beautiful actually. Also, it's very beautiful. Like beautiful outside, but also definitely inside. But there's no way he can do anything with computers. They all go